the back, the VOD and the silver screen. Kevin and Tom and Joe know all there is to know, from masterpieces to deep fried tacos. And if the movie sucks, you might hear them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude, this is Real Spoilers, episode 868, A Black Phone also.
As well.
Additionally.
I like that. A black phone additionally. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So before we forget, let's go around the table and everyone can introduce themselves.
This is Joe.
This is Kevin.
And this is Tom. Quick shameless plugs. Don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn. Wherever you find a podcast, you can find us while
Spreaker.
Spreaker. The Zoom.
That's for the old school.
The Zune store. Yeah, for Timmy Two Zunes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Insert Obi-Wan Kenobi meme.
Disneyland Matt somewhere out there
Oh
in the
my
ether.
gosh, Disneyland Matt.
Yeah. Anyway, while you're there, be sure and follow the episode or the show so you never miss an episode. There we go. You can also leave us a review. That's
4 months, guys.
generally good for our egos.
We could
Not
use
always.
one sometime soon.
Yeah. So, also, you can find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. It's called the League of Show Sharers because we are hoping you will share an episode. People who were kind enough to share an episode this week include Librarian Cynthia, Gabriel Lugo, Julianne Jordan, Tammy Lynn Powers Betts, Brendan McGuckin, Jason McLean, Glenn Cougar, Melon Brewer, Michael Tonkovic, Chris Magic Man, Ron Johnson, Richard Krotzer, Travis Tewitt, Taylor Ward, Heather Sachs, Colby Mack, Cinema Recall, In Session Film, Ryan Terry, The Kryptonian Orphan, Geek to Me Radio, and Matt Neglia. So thank you very much for sharing an episode. We greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget, we have a Patreon.
We do.
If you would like to support us with more than your ears, we would like you to. You can do that for just $5 a month, and you get all sorts of bonus content. We finally recorded our Blues Brothers 2000 episode.
Somehow got an hour and 20 minutes out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of not talking about the Blues Brothers.
Lots of like, hey, what about this musical act? What about this?
But that will be out shortly.
Yeah.
It'll be out before Blues Brothers 3, I'll tell you that.
That's a fair statement.
And that's anyway, it's $5 a month. It just helps keep the show afloat. It's greatly appreciated. We need it way more than This American Life does.
That's right.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So
I need it more than Marin does.
Well,
yeah.
He can quit.
Yeah, he just walked away.
What a weird. It's so. That whole situation, I think, is very. No matter how old we get, we still have to deal with bullies. You know what I mean? Like the whole argument between Mark Maron and also a couple of guys that I don't know that I'd want to get into a verbal sparring match with is Mark Maron and Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
These two are like, no, thank you.
Or me.
Or you. Yes. But like those guys who were basically calling out the I don't know what you would call it, the Rogan sphere.
Yeah.
Where they're like, yeah, dude, you're like, and you listening to them and you're like, yeah, you're punching down, like whatever. And then seeing the guys in Rogan's camp, they're just like, oh, they're old and dumb. And it's like, man, high school bullies never change. Like you guys are like these two dudes are, two very smart comedians.
Yeah.
And like Anthony Jeselnik is deceptively smart.
Yeah.
And quick-witted and sharp.
Oh, man.
And Mark Maron is Mark Maron.
Yeah.
And then you've got, guys like Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm like, yeah, you're not very funny. Like you're kind of a douchebag. And then Rogan is, I assume Rogan's smart to some extent.
I don't think
I don't
smart.
know.
I think
he's
he
a
wants,
good interview.
I think he wants to be.
Yeah.
And but that's sometimes to his detriment.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Because
Yeah.
He looks into things that he doesn't understand.
Right.
And then he
And
speaks.
reinterprets them.
And then he's easy to he's gullible.
Yeah.
And
then when somebody calls him out, they're like, that's not true. And then like guys on his show are like, it's right here.
yeah.
Like there's that thing of Tim. He was doubled down on this AI video of Tim Walz saying something.
Oh.
And the guy's like, nope, this is AI. He's like, no, it's not. And they're like,
Oh man,
telling you.
that new, I haven't tried it yet, but that new app that's out.
Sora.
Holy
It's-
crap! Katie showed me a thing on TikTok, and I watched it twice. She's like, this is getting ridiculous or whatever. And I'm like, what do we watch? And I go, oh, that's AI.
Yeah.
I noticed the other day I logged into YouTube and I was uploading a video, just a commercial for the Family Arena website, and so I upload them to YouTube.
Can you tag a Real Spoilers podcast on one of those?
I don't know that
It might drop the views of
I
your
don't know if
video.
it would help or not, but I noticed now, like, how have you ever uploaded something to YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't know how much you upload to YouTube. I know you do all the time, obviously, Kevin,
Not a lot.
Yeah. But it's like, is this specifically made for kids? Yes or no?
Sure,
Like you have to check certain things. And
Now there's an AI.
now there's a is anyone in this video? Did you create basically fake footage of real people in this video? You have to acknowledge if you did
That app on TikTok is terrifying.
I've seen the videos from it, and they look exactly like real life.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's some weird stuff that doesn't, but like the
There-
ones I've seen,
There was one
Holy
of Mr.
crap.
Rogers changing his shoes with Randy Savage,
oh my god.
and it's like
And there's another one with Eazy-E,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Tupac in the wearing an NWO shirt.
But like
It's
you can
this
be
is-
like, but you can say like, make this video to look like it was filmed with security cam footage.
Yeah.
Like they'll change it, and it looks exactly like what that thing would look like.
this is where
It is
we're going.
not good.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not good.
If Tron Ares taught me anything,
Well, I think Tron Ares was trying to teach you that you can't trust AI.
Correct.
Because it's Jared Leto.
Yeah,
and what's not to trust about Jared
It's
Leto?
AI Jesus.
Yeah. So, I don't even know where we were at.
I think we
We're
got
talking
it all
about
done.
Internet bullies. And,
Yeah.
I think that's the show.
All right, see you guys.
Okay.
This is 60 seconds of suck, right?
Yeah.
What?
I got
The Black
it.
Phone too?
I had a blast with this movie.
Oh God.
No,
So
I,
how many energy drinks did you drink to stay awake during
none.
the snooze
I thought it was great.
Ugh.
I thought this was a perfect sequel.
Oh my God.
I did.
Hated this movie.
No.
First one, so good. Second one, total
This
snooze.
one, if you realize what they're doing,
I
this
can't
is
wait for you to tell me.
all right.
Enlighten me.
So this is. Are we going?
Black Phone 2, let's dig in.
Yeah,
shall we?
perfect.
There we go.
This is an 80s horror sequel.
Yeah, it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
No.
It's
well, I
Night-
mean, yes,
it's
it is
Nightmare on Elm
Street.
Street and Friday the 13th.
Yep.
And The Shining.
Yep.
And Curtains.
They go to camp, and then
And-
he's in your
Oh,
dreams.
wow. Did you just pull a Curtains reference?
I did pull a Curtains.
Where
reference.
have you seen Curtains?
No, but I know what
Oh.
it is.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's
I know
married. He
things.
has kids.
I know things.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. I do. I think this is when you, I jokingly said that this is, they took Randy's speech from Scream 2 and Scream 3 and we're like, yeah, we'll just do that. Where it's like the kills are gorier because the kills aren't that gory.
Okay, the kills. You
Yeah.
mean the flashback sequences?
Yeah.
This movie wants to be a horror movie with, oh, look at the kills and how extreme they are. No one dies except for a flashback over and over again with the same 3 kids dying, and they're trying to figure out this ghost detective story.
Yeah.
But, like, the movie wasn't fun. I thought it was so slow. Like, they should have had more kills. If you have demon grabber black phone dude haunting people at this camp, let's have some fun people getting killed around. I mean, I know at the end he's ice skating. Well,
That
that's
was
exciting.
wild. That was also like,
Oh,
a
I'm
part of
dragging
me-
this guy with the ice skates. But, like, come on, do some fun stuff. It still wasn't
so
a fun movie.
It doesn't need to be fun.
Oh.
That's the thing is like, I think, I don't know. I feel like people have this expectation of horror movies, and I don't think they have to be fun all
No,
the time.
I love horror movies
think
that aren't fun, but this movie with extreme kills and stuff, I'm like, if you're going to do the 80s slasher movie thing, let's make it fun then, because this was like, let's just have the gore, but not any of the enjoyment. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he died like that.
I thought getting Finn, I know people bag on this movie, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 does something that I don't think a lot of other movies dealt with, is what happens to that person that survives.
Yeah, Halloween did.
What happens?
Halloween tackled that.
Sort of. But like Halloween 2.
Sort of.
That's the whole
I
movie.
mean, no,
That-
but like
that first Halloween
yeah.
movie
That whole thing
That's
is-
true. That's
is
true.
was-
brilliant
was
Rob
exploration.
Zombie
was really good.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great the way it was like, how would trauma affect
what would
these
this
people
do to you?
Love
40
that, yeah.
years later?
Yeah.
Like that new trilogy, those next two are awful, but that first one
Is incredible.
Is an all-time great
Yes.
horror movie.
Yeah,
I mean, just
I
hands
agree.
down.
I
It goes
think
Halloween, then Halloween.
I think that I have revisited the third one only because it's like, okay, I see what, like, when
Because
you
it's like a
realize
sore tooth you can't stop playing with.
But I also, like, I understand what he was trying to do.
He just failed dismally.
I don't know
at
that
it.
he failed, but there is something about that movie that I do find interesting where it's like he's trying. The second one is a misfire completely.
Yes.
Right? You take Lori out of the movie and you put her in a hospital and then
because it was like a filler. It was because called,
I don't know that they knew they were going to get 3.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's like they had a movie that was supposed to be the end, but then they're like, oh, but let's just stretch this out and not.
Well, they had a
make
movie. They had a movie that made a shit ton of
Right.
money, and they're like, we can get 2 more out of this.
it, right, which was such a mistake. It's like splitting a movie into 2. Look at that Spider-Verse movie. Where's that sequel? You know.
Well, that's
But
a
it's
different.
like-
That's a different story altogether.
But that movie was just like, oh, so we'll just fill the gap. I don't know. We're not going to end it, so we got to kind of just dance around.
I
and-
think 3, where they're like, is this evil is in this town and it's infected this town, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Good premise,
it's very
poor
much the
execution.
original Halloween 3, where it just takes a left turn and you're like, what the hell's going on? Where like in this one, I do like that we find out what happens to Finn and Gwen. Like, where are they? What's, their dad was this pretty awful person.
I like his redemption.
They missed one thing. I wish
What's that?
we find out that the dad's been sober for 3 years. They're going to go to this camp, and he's like, "Hey, when you come back, I'll have this chip." I wish when Finn gets in the truck,
He showed him.
He
was
showed
like, I
him,
got it.
because there's a moment where he has a struggle. Right, he's seeing a Busch beer commercial on TV, and he immediately calls who I
That
assumed
was a great head fake.
who I assumed was his sponsor or somebody.
Yeah, that was a great head fake where you think, oh man, he can't handle this. He's gonna have someone bring him beer, and he goes to help the kids. Like that was a great
Yeah.
head fake. Yeah.
So I wish they would have said at the end where he shows Finn the coin. And I was like, okay,
That would've been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, where Finn basically becomes, let's see, it was 78, I think it was the first one. So now we're in 82,
Okay.
I think is where we are. And Finn has basically become Robin. Not from Batman and Robin, but like Robin from the first movie, where he's just beating kids up who run their mouth on him, and he's kind of the tough kid. I think he even has a same line where where Gwen's like, "Did you have to make him bleed so much?" And he's like, "That sends a message." And it's like,
That's an interesting. I do agree that the idea of exploring that trauma of like you're a kid that went through a horrific thing,
young kid.
How would you handle that? And now you're still growing up and dealing with high school and dealing with all this stuff.
well, now not only are you so in that first one, he's picked on all the time. He's constantly picked on, and Robin is always defending him. Now he is still being like he's the kid that survived. He's the kid that killed the grabber. So now he's got to deal with that. Not only does he have this awful traumatic experience where ghost kids helped him kill a serial killer, but now he goes back into the real world and he's kind of a freak because he's the kid that killed the serial killer, right? So now he's got to contend with that.
I didn't realize that kid was Robin's brother until
I forgot
the very
that.
end. I when he said something about, did you really talk to my brother in that house or whatever? I go, hold on, who is this kid?
Yeah,
I just had no idea.
that one is throwing.
I wish they could have maybe like
throwing Ernesto into there. I was like, man, I don't remember this kid at all.
Right.
He was
Like-
in it though.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
He was in the
I-
first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay, I had no idea who Ernesto
But
was.
yeah, I
Okay.
don't think it was much, but he was there. They didn't just invent like, oh, and he had a brother.
Here's this
like
other
they,
kid.
you know.
Okay, I didn't do a
Yeah.
rewatch, so like again, I loved that first one, but like I didn't remember that Ernesto.
Yeah,
was
and
a
I want to say the
character.
first one to me isn't a horror.
That first one's great.
It's a fantastic
That's
movie. It's
great.
not a horror movie because I don't.
A little more psychological.
It's creepy.
The first
thriller.
one to me was like, it was not very cohesive, but
Interesting.
but it was an effective thriller.
Yeah.
But like I never understood how any of it was supposed to work. And I'm like, so I'm like, the kids in a basement of a serial killer who is not supernatural, but there happens to be a supernatural phone in the basement.
As
Like,
I was
like,
watching,
I
Well,
never
the girl's got the shine.
but this is what I thought. I thought, to your point, Joe Hill is Stephen King's son.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is a
So, like,
world.
is there
there is a
my tie-in
there is a
into The
world. I
Shining?
mean, and that we know from Dr. Sleep that other people have the shine,
Yeah.
and it's different for different people. Like Danny Torrance's version of the shine is
Dick
different
O'Halloran
from
has it too, right?
Dick Halloran.
Dick Halloran, sorry.
Yeah.
Halloran. That's very funny. Carl Lumbly played him in played that character in Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like I did wonder in this one, and
Yeah.
I was like, you could make a case that both these kids and their mom had the shine.
Now this is
That's a fan theory. That is not confirmed.
now. See,
Well, I mean, I guess it is by this one.
It is. Well, I think yes. I don't
But-
know that they don't call it the shine.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but I just was like, I to be the tiebreaker here, and it pains me to say this, but Kevin is 100% right.
Damn.
oh, thank you.
This movie
is
is so
snooze.
Oh, man,
boring.
I was
So-
It's
in
a
it.
great looking movie.
Oh my god, the way they filmed it to make it look like the 80s, technically.
So
I was
I-
like, this looks incredible.
I did
and there's
really
all
like that.
these great components of things that
Yeah.
could be a thing,
Mhm.
and they just never mush them together right.
I saw
And-
this at 11:30 and was fighting falling asleep.
Yeah.
Ryan saw this with me and he had an energy drink and saw this. He was falling asleep.
Yeah.
Like this movie was so aggressively boring.
I was in the whole
You
time.
dug the concept, and that's
I
cool.
dug the movie.
I think it's interesting,
I liked
but-
the movie in general. I liked seeing. I like so like.
I
So
still
many,
don't understand how anything works.
That's fair.
Like,
I think
like,
I just
we're
accept.
2 movies in, and it still makes no sense.
I
to
think
me.
once I realized, so in the first movie, we know that we're told that Finn and Gwen's mom had this thing, and it drove her to suicide because she just couldn't contend with it anymore.
Right.
Sends their dad off the deep end. Their
She
dad
had the
becomes.
shine,
I
essentially.
mean, that's that's what this is,
what it is.
right? It's their. You can make a case that that Ewan McGregor can walk into this movie and be like, "Come with me, kids," and everybody would be okay. You know, like,
Yeah.
so the mom kills herself, sends the dad off the deep end. Gwen, the little girl in the first movie, starts to exhibit these things, and the dad goes crazy on
Yeah,
her.
because he's like, oh my god.
It's the same stuff.
Same
He's
thing,
trying
yeah.
to, he's whipping her with a belt, and like, she is. I see a lot of me and my sister in these two, like their relationship with
Yeah.
each other. So that also helps me engage with this movie as well. So seeing them kind of give each other, but in a loving way.
I think the character arc for Jeremy Davies' character as the dad, I think is my favorite part. I just think I love seeing that. That
This becomes Gwen's movie.
yeah.
Like they kind of push Finn, and which is fine.
and I just don't think she was up to the task.
No, I don't either.
I don't think
She had
was
moments.
very good in
I
this.
thought the mom, the actress that played the mom at the
The
beginning
young
of the
mom?
phone, reading those lines and who is this? Whatever. I'm like,
But
oh my god,
she's
this
a
is
ghost.
horrible. Oh, ghost can't act. I forgot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
get it
Those-
together.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Ah,
Yeah.
crap.
But I mean,
Okay.
like,
Okay, as the oldest person in the room,
Mhm.
I just have to say,
Yeah.
Matt Reedy is will I think agree with me on this.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, thank God someone said it.
Tron was good. I admit it finally. Thank you, Matt,
When-
for helping convince.
When the mom in 1957 is like, they scratched 7 numbers in the ice,
Uh-huh.
and I called those numbers. That is not how
Oh.
telephone numbers were written.
Oh, in the
1957.
what were they
they-
like AD
They
247 or
used
whatever?
exchanges. and
Klondike.
So it'd be like Klondike 56921,
Oh, man.
and you would dial the first 2 letters, so KL,
Okay.
and on the phone a K and L would be 5. So when you hear Klondike 5 in an old movie, they're still saying 555.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fun.
And so
Okay.
like there's a song by the Glenn Miller Orchestra, Pennsylvania 65000. That's a phone number.
Yeah.
That's what there's it's the Pennsylvania Exchange, and like each exchange could only hold up to like 10,000 numbers, and then once that filled up, you would a town would have to get a new exchange.
which
And
is
so-
why we have different area codes.
well, then eventually they got rid of the technology got better. You could put more one exchange, and then eventually you ran out of numbers, and then you get area codes, and yeah.
Okay.
Now,
And-
now, real quick though, I looked it up, and now this is AI research. Because Google spit on me. They said in 1957, Colorado was covered by a single area code, and then it was only needed for long distance, and most used the 7-digit number. And they said in the 50s, some people were converting to that already. In Colorado, where this takes place, is one of them. So I'm just saying.
I am skeptical.
That's
Okay.
fair.
I am
that is
skeptical.
I will say that I think that is a reach.
So maybe
that is a reach.
Robert Cargill did look it up, and maybe Colorado did.
Yeah.
It is. I do
So
want
I'm
to
just saying
mention.
it's on the cusp where Colorado apparently was part of it. Because if you even go to Wikipedia, it says in the 50s they started
wait.
converting.
This is in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
it's-
the Overlook?
is
in
that
Colorado.
No, is it really?
I'm almost positive
Yeah, I
it's in
think so,
Colorado.
yeah.
I didn't put that
Okay.
together in the first movie
Hang
because
on.
I didn't
That's
even.
It'll
interesting.
be easier just do it this way.
What's your shirt say?
Oh, Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidewinder,
Sidewinder,
Colorado.
Colorado.
That's funny. Okay,
So I do think-
maybe
I mean,
Mr.
look,
Hill is trying to branch in.
Well, I mean, down to the. And now it could just be.
Oh, snow. The
Well,
Shining
if
had
you
snow.
the
It
cat,
has to be.
the cat that the caretaker is
Yeah.
driving is the same cat that Jack destroys in The Shining, right? Jack, when Wendy's going to go outside and try to jump in the cat and get out of town.
Yeah.
Spoilers for The Shining.
Now that could be a movie homage.
I think it absolutely is, but the fact that these kids definitely have the shine, it's set in Colorado, and
that is
okay.
That is interesting. If we're gonna see like in a Black Phone 3, does it cross over with Doctor Sleep or something?
It
You know what I
could.
mean? Is there some?
It could.
But okay, so it's the same creative team. It's Scott Derrickson
Yeah.
and C. Robert Cargill.
I do want
who
to
writes
mention
all-
C. Robert Cargill
Yeah.
because I do find the Ain't It Cool sphere I find wildly
Fascinating,
interesting,
Does
right?
that still exist?
No, but
No,
like
but he was a
C. Robert
critic.
Cargill was a critic on Ain't It Cool.
Okay.
And now he writes all of Scott Derrickson's movies. So like Scott Derrickson did Doctor Strange. You know, he's made huge movies. and
Yeah,
he's his
but
writer.
like Drew McWeeny and who's the other guy?
Quint?
Yeah, but who was it? Quint? But there's
He
another.
hasn't branched out though. He's just a critic. So
Oh, okay.
not-
Well, there was two other guys that
broke out.
that broke out and
Well,
just
think
kind of
about
like
think about it. They got on film sets. They paid these guys to be hanging around these big film sets so they'd report on it.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah.
how many connections you make when they were
Drew
the
McWeeny
guys,
is
right?
a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
Like that dude can write some reviews. And
Yeah.
now look at C. Robert Cargill's in the same boat where that dude's writing movies now. You know?
I know, a
And
lot of movies.
Hopefully, what's his
I mean,
the guy that runs it is,
Oh, Harry.
yeah, that guy.
But I mean, nobody bats 1,000. He wrote Black Phone 2, but I mean, other than that,
But he's working with Scott Derrickson.
yeah,
who's
I mean,
no
he's this
slouch,
guy.
you
Right,
know?
he's this guy. I mean, he wrote Sinister, right? Did he write all the way from then, or did Scott Derrickson just do that? He might
that's a
have
good
written.
question.
He might have wrote and direct that, but no, hold on. He pitched his idea for Sinister. Yeah, so he.
Which is, according to science, the scariest movie ever made.
Oh,
Like, judging by what people's bodies do during that movie. That's what they did. They, like, took the readings of their, like, pulse and stuff, and Sinister, like, had the most spikes in pulse for that. That movie is incredible.
so the idea for his first film came to fruition when he met up with fan and friend Scott Derrickson in a bar in Las Vegas, where he pitched the idea for Sinister. They've worked
And
together
Scott
ever
Derrickson
since.
had just done Hellraiser 4 or something. Yeah, so, like, Gwen is now having... she has this phone call from her mom from the beyond the grave. Like it's,
I thought this was a very interesting idea to jump times because
Mhm.
I'm a time travel fan. We
Yeah,
haven't done one in a
yeah,
long
yeah.
time, but since the beginning, I've told you I love time travel movies. So when they were like, "Oh, her thing now, her dreams are taking her where she can interact in a different time period," I'm like, "That's a really interesting idea."
Yeah, I'm almost positive that there's a shine that lets you dream walk.
Oh,
I think
is
they
Freddy
talk.
a part of the?
They talk about that's. I mean, look, if Scott Derrickson pitched a Nightmare on Elm Street movie and New Line or whoever has
Said
it now was
no.
like, no, he's like, I'll just go make my own.
Black Phone 2?
Yeah. Have I got a story for you?
I mean, because this is very much
When
a Nightmare on Elm Street.
when the grabber starts ice skating, and I was like, this is Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Like it's because it
Yeah,
was he would get so goofy.
yeah, this is Nightmare on Elm Street, but the bad ones. See,
No,
that's
4's not bad.
That's the bad ones.
4's not bad.
Okay, 7. Sorry.
7's bad. Wait, 6 is bad.
Oh,
7's New Nightmare. That's really good.
okay. Sorry.
It's a sneaky.
Sorry.
What they don't talk about New Nightmare is it's Wes Craven testing out the meta stuff right before Scream. Like New
okay.
Nightmare has Heather Langenkamp as Heather Langenkamp.
Okay.
Scott Wes Craven as Wes Craven, Robert Englund as Robert Englund, and this demon is trying to get into our world, and he's using the image of Freddy to get into our world.
I love the Scream movie. Is it Scream 3 with Jay and Silent Bob? Is it 3?
Yes.
Okay. I love the meta stuff. I love when they're on a movie set within
Go-
the movie and they're
go-
making a movie about these people.
Have you
like,
not seen New Nightmare?
I've not seen.
Go see New Nightmare. Watch
Okay.
New Nightmare because it is Wes Craven dipping his like trying to figure out
Yeah,
the meta
okay. I'll have to check that
world,
out.
and then
That sounds cool.
then Scream comes out like 2 years later.
So you said this is like 4 years later after the events of Black Phone? Okay.
So Finn is not in a good place. He's smoking weed, kind of like his dad. Like his dad was using alcohol to numb himself.
Right. It's the same. It's
Finn
like
is using
cyclical, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing, right? The mom's going through this crap. The dad is numbing himself. Now the sister's going through the same crap. The brother is numbing himself.
Well, the dad doesn't start drinking until after the mom dies. That's when all hell breaks loose. But now Finn is now dealing with this, and now he's using weed.
Yeah.
And I do, man, their relationship is so good. Because I love that scene where Finn is standing outside in the cold and he's smoking weed, and she
like,
comes
"Don't tell Dad."
and she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna tell Dad." Like just the way and he goes to hand it to her, and she was like, "Still not my
into it,
sign," and he was like, "All right." Like so, like just them realizing, because I think Gwen is the reason he gets saved, right? She has the visions in the first movie, and she figures it out. So now she's having visions of her mom and these boys. I think that scene in this scene here where he's standing outside in the cold and you can see this different version of the grabber off in the distance, and like he's having a conversation with him, and Gwen kind of knows. She's like, basically doesn't say like, "Can you see him?" But like I thought that was a very unnerving imagery of having him come out of the shadows, and he doesn't look like the grabber that we saw. He's a little bit dirtier. His mask is a little bit scummier. You can see like there's stuff going on because
he looks like the Joker when he's Joe or whatever in the comics. When he's
Joe.
Yeah, and the like the more recent ones. What's the one when he's in a mechanic jumpsuit? And
his face is hanging off. Yeah. I would agree with that.
He looks like that. He's got a jumpsuit. He's like a maintenance guy. And,
yeah.
Long hair, which he still does, but it's like really long and.
Yeah. But yeah. So. Basically, she's like, we have to get to this. We need to get to this camp. There's something up there. We have to go figure out what it is. And Finn's like, yeah, you can go. I'm not going. I'm like, that. And Ernesto, who has definitely developed a crush on Gwen, which I think is very cute. Like they're,
it's a date.
It's a date. And she's like, no, it's not. And he was like, yes, it is. And even when, I think that scene.
Also, ticket stubs didn't look like that.
They looked like Ticketmaster stubs. And I was like,
I'm like,
they're like stubs, right?
I'm like, dude, that's from a Boca printer, which that was not how they printed tickets in 1982.
Right.
I was going.
Wasn't it just stubs?
It was like a actual like printed. It would go through a print
like on a receipt paper.
No, I mean, it was on cardstock, but like I remember like back then, like if I bought a ticket to Iron Maiden, it had the Iron Maiden logo on it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like ticket stubs used to look awesome.
And now they're just
and I've never
actually
understood.
on your phone now.
Well, now it's all on your phone, but I
Yeah.
never understood like with those Boca printers because they're heat sensitive. So like why they couldn't figure out a way to burn the band logos on
Yeah,
there.
that would've been cool.
I've never understood that, but now they don't care because it's all
on your phone.
It's all on your phone. But,
yeah, and I love that scene of them of Gwen and Ernesto in the cabin where they're having this super, teenage moment, and the big brother's like, yeah, I'm right here. Like I could hear all of you. She's like, well, I didn't know you were awake. He's like, it doesn't matter if I was awake.
So she decides she's going to go work at this camp and investigate things. And Ernesto comes to pick her up. He's going to take her there. And then Finn gets a change of heart. And he's like, I'm going to
see. Here's the thing. I love that moment between the dad. He's like, I don't like the way he looks at her. He's like, Finn's like, me either. And he's like, God damn it. And like goes and gets his stuff.
I mean, she saved his life, and obviously he cares about her. And I think he realizes, like, I can't let her go alone.
Yeah,
she's not going to stop.
But it is like, I think that's funny that the two, Finn's kind of an adult now, and he realizes, I don't like the way that guy's looking at my sister.
I mean,
either.
I like the characterization. I have no problem with this stuff, but it's just getting to anything. I feel like the pacing's way too slow, and there's just not enough interesting stuff going on. It just felt like a very slow movie.
See, I was
when they got to the ice skating and stuff, I'm like, okay, I mean, this is kind of fun and creepy, like.
But now it just feels silly.
Yeah.
And it's been so
the
serious.
ice skating thing was very silly.
It took you out of it because it was so serious. And then it's like, okay, well, if we were going to have fun, let's have fun. The grabbers should have been taken out, camp counselors and stuff. There should have been maybe some more people for fodder.
Amy Irvin's in this movie? That was so I was like, well, then she's got to be a major character. Like, I don't feel like you don't cast Sue Snell as like the.
Who is she?
Amy Irving is the gal with like the big curly hair.
Well, there's only one woman.
She's Sue Snell. She's like the.
I didn't realize that was Amy Irving.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Of from the original Carrie. She's like the one that.
Okay. Well, there you go. So see, he's picking greatest hits kind of things. Horror homage. Yeah.
She's not like the.
She used to be Spielberg's gal, right?
She was Spielberg's gal.
He left her for Kate Capshaw.
He did leave her for Kate Capshaw.
Oh, they were married?
I don't know.
I
I
thought
thought
they
he
were
was
married, but they were
divorced his wife to marry Kate
I don't
Capshaw.
think. I don't know if they were married.
Okay.
I think they were definitely together.
but they were together.
But
Okay.
she in Carrie, she's the one who is kind of bad, but also feels bad for Carrie, and like ends up
Yeah.
kind of like being the good.
Okay,
trying to
I
help-
didn't
trying to
recognize
help
her in this
Carrie.
one, but okay.
It was her hair. Once I saw, I mean, she looks the same kind of. She's just older, but she's got that. She has
the hair,
She
yeah.
has the exact same hair that she has in Carrie.
Yeah.
in
I
this.
saw a picture. I'm like, yep, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, they get up to the camp, and the snow is so bad. There's a snowstorm that's come through, and they can't get out. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the three of them. So it's the priest from the Conjuring series. He's in those movies. These three kids, and then two other people, and then Mustang, who I thought was going to be a bigger character.
Yeah, she was just kind
I
of.
thought she was going to be
random-
Finn's love interest.
As my wife so eloquently put,
Yeah.
no father would ever name his daughter after something you ride.
That was that was her name at the camp.
It was her nickname.
That was her nickname.
Yeah, you'd still shoot that down.
Like absolutely not.
Yeah, like her dad runs the camp. The
No,
dad,
it's not her dad.
That's not her dad.
Oh, I thought the guy who
No,
was running
it's
the
his
camp was
niece
the
or
dad.
something?
Yeah, it wasn't her dad.
It's not as not her.
Still.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Hard,
she rides
hard
horses and
pass.
stuff, so I guess it makes sense that like if you're giving campers names to easily remember, like she's the horse,
Right,
whatever, the
right.
trainer, right, whatever.
She was bad.
She had no point in this movie.
But she was just there wasn't really anything for her to do either.
but
I
if-
just didn't
but if you're gonna
believe
introduce
her as this
Badass.
tough girl tomboy.
Okay.
If you're going to introduce her, let her have a relationship with Finn. Like put them together.
I mean, it feels like that's what they kind of wanted to do, but then just didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. So it is wild to look at this camp, and I was like, I went to camps like this, just not in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of a camp like this being open in the winter.
It exists.
Is that a real thing?
It's a real thing. Like
Doesn't feel
they
like it
usually
would be.
they usually
Because I said it was like winter Christmas or Christian camp or something, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it like supposed to be for winter break or something?
something like or like apparently you would go on like an extended weekends. So you'd go on a Friday, you come back on a Monday.
But I think they missed a real opportunity here. So like they get there and they're like, "Oh, we didn't call you guys in time. Everybody else didn't show up because they got called in time. So now it's just 5 people here."
I did think that
just
was
start picking people. You have everyone be there and just start picking off counselors.
because I
Just-
don't
I
know.
mean-
I don't know that this is not. If you're gonna go full slasher, I agree. If you're gonna go full Friday the 13th of kids in a camp,
But I think they kind of want it, right? The homage is all there. You've got Camp Crystal Lake. You've got Freddy. You've got, I mean, you're doing all these elements and love letters, but you're tying them around just a slow, methodical, just this trauma story, which is fine to do. But like, I just feel like the elements didn't mesh. You were like, you're giving me all these crazy powers.
So
and
I will
stuff,
say, for
but-
me, it felt like you got the kills with the kids, and then you have this detective story that is basically what Nightmare on Elm Street is. Nightmare on Elm Street is Nancy trying to figure out how to beat Freddy.
I mean, how much of Alan Wake have you played?
The first like half hour.
Man, that movie's so good. That
The
reminds
movie?
me of.
There's a movie of it.
Well, no, sorry, not the movie. So Alan Wake 2 kind of feels like these like Long Legs does. Where they
Oh,
like flash
sure.
chapters on the screen and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And then when you get to a part where I don't think this is a spoiler, whatever, you play a certain character that you would hope to play as, and a phone rings out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, this is better than the movie I just watched. I'm like, this is what the movie should have been.
For free on the PS Plus, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Alan
dang,
Wake
when
2.
that phone rings out of nowhere and it's all creepy, I'm like, there
I
it is.
do, and yeah. So like you've got the kids isolated. You've got,
Those heaters looked not 1980s. Something about the
I don't know,
heaters
to
all
me,
over
those
the
things
cabin.
looked like they fucking set something on fire.
I really was surprised that we had heaters and nobody's face got shoved into
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
thought-
there were heaters everywhere.
Yeah.
How did they not use it? Because there's no fun kills. The only kills are the kids in
There
the
are
past.
children. He is murdering children. I don't know that I want a fun kill of a child.
No,
Depends
but
on the kid.
That's true.
no,
That's a good
but
point.
the kills in this movie are only the 3 in the flashback. We don't get any modern characters as fodder, right? Like they
I
could have.
thought we were gonna get the other the Amy Irving character and Barbara and her.
But you don't even
husband.
really see, like, did they die or just get hurt?
No,
they
they're
never
alive.
Even addressed
They just
it.
got they're
okay,
alive.
right.
Yeah.
So like you didn't even use them, and they were terrible purposefully, or she was at least, because like, oh, she's gonna get her come up.
You mean like she was just like Carrie's mom? Her characterization is identical to Carrie's mom, where it's like hardcore Catholic and.
So we were talking about the creative. So Joe Hill, Stephen King's son, wrote the first short story that was adapted into a Black Phone movie. Yeah. This one is Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill just doing their own thing, right?
Continuing with the characters, but
didn't ever write another story. I don't think he's not listed under as a screenwriter on this. And so it's just interesting that I find that like that first one's so good adapting that story, and then this one I feel like just doesn't quite land it. And I wonder how involved Hill was even on story ideas, or if they just ran with it and did their little horror homage thing, because you're right, there's just fingerprints all over it. And that's where I feel like we're just doing a little too much of the greatest hits. It's not cohesive. It doesn't feel like one tone. You know, are we making a Freddy movie? We're making a slasher movie. We're making a trauma Halloween 2018 or whatever movie. You know, to me, it like never quite landed on what movie this is, even though the ideas were interesting, but it's like too many things.
I don't disagree that there's too many. It was just maybe it's
boring.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
I didn't find it boring. Like I was like, okay, we're trying to figure out. You know,
and I love slow pace. I told you I love those slow burn, the long legs, those kind of like slow burn creep weapons. That I love that stuff. But for whatever reason, like weapons, we talked about, those characters were so interesting. You cared about all these characters and what happened to them, so you're invested. To me, I don't know why I just couldn't care about the characters.
I wasn't. Like I said, I think seeing the relationship between Gwen and Finn is very reminiscent of me and my sister.
Yeah. And if you have that connection, sure. That's
so like just seeing them together and seeing, and like I said, this movie does shift. The first movie is 100% about Finn and trying to get him out of there. This is not about, like, it's about Finn dealing with stuff.
I like the fact that they were smart enough to not be like, well, I got to make another Finn movie because it's a sequel.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
They went where the story took them.
Correct.
Which I think so oftentimes in sequels, people don't do.
You just focus on the same person.
Yeah, and that's why so many sequels feel like retreads, and so I like that it's a natural evolution of the story. There are a lot of components here that on paper feel like they should work, but for me, just none of them do.
I don't know. That's so interesting because they were working for me. Like for whatever reason, everything was working. I think, and it could be the homages. I think those were the movies that I still enjoy. I mean, they've got Gwen dressed up just like Nancy. Yeah. Like she's wearing almost the exact same pajamas that Nancy wears.
Oh, for sure. Again, there's homage everywhere.
Yeah.
So story wise though, the phone keeps ringing. We see it even before he gets to camp, but Finn keeps getting phone calls, and so he answers the phone when he's there, and it's the grabber. And
he will answer the phone. But he always says, like, I can't help you.
He just hangs up immediately. He's just like, I'm not dealing with this.
Right. And then on this time, now that they're out here, it's the grabber, and he's basically saying...
Well, and I can't remember. Maybe it's the grabber at first, but then he gets a phone call, and it's all three of the kids. And that was a cool shot when they kept popping up from behind him.
Yeah.
Because the camera did like technically, again, very cool movie. But the camera's rotating around the phone booth, and there's no kids on one side. But when it rotates to Finn and then goes past him, then there's a kid behind him.
They're off in the distance first. Like there's this sole phone booth. It's like, standing there. Yeah. And so like when he first answers the phone and it's the grabber, and he's kind of like, I'm going to take everything away from him.
They're kind of on the outside.
They're so far back. And then as that
they pop up.
Yeah. One pops up and then you see, progressively how bad.
And essentially in the lore of how
they did that in the first one a lot too. Like when he was in the basement, like the kids he was talking to, Robin would pop up behind him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like a visual representation of the phone call.
Yeah, that was very cool. I just like how they did the 360 and the kid wasn't there, but until you panned around to like another angle of Finn, and then as it moved forward, then he was behind him. Like it was a really cool way. But the crux of the story is in the way that this works or whatever. So there's these three kids that were murdered. We find out by the grabber, who was like a maintenance guy at the camp. And
so that is sequel 101, is you get information that you didn't have in the first one that you get in this one. And we find out that these kids have been, Gwen is having these nightmares. She sees these kids in the ice and they're scratching letters. Every kid scratches a letter.
I thought they were trying to warn us about Zaslav when that WB popped up.
They're like, this is a Universal movie. Which I will say, logos, they do use the old.
Do they use the old logo?
It's the old Universal, the 80s Universal logo, except it says Comcast.
Oh
on
yeah,
on
they
the
gotta
bottom.
Put
I was
they,
like, oh,
they use the logo,
God, that
but they
sucks.
gotta
It
put
sucks
the
that
parent
that's
company
there.
on
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically the
kids were killed by the grabber, and until their bodies are found, no one ever found the body, so their spirits are not at rest until they're found.
When Finn killed Ethan Hawke in the first movie, his ghost immediately went back to where his original kills were.
Like, and this is where like I think it's kind of they're just creating this lore. Like you're asking, how does all this
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
It essentially, he kills him, and now his body went back to where he killed his first kills, and he's feeding on them, and they're giving him power, and until their bodies are found and their spirits are put to rest.
Freddy 101.
Ethan,
This is Freddy Krueger 101.
the grabber is going to haunt and get all his power until they're found.
Well, his goal is to kill Gwen. That's what he wants to do. He wants to kill Gwen because
she got him killed.
And there was the grabber does say something to Finn that I completely forgot about, where he goes, "You made me kill my brother," and I was like,
I thought it was right when he said it's grabbing time.
Well,
that would have been
Trump.
Yeah, that would have. But I was like, made me kill because he's on the there's another I think another
You see
great
the
scene
brother briefly because he kills the brother with an axe to the head
in the first movie.
in the first one.
Yeah, which I forgot
because the brother doesn't know that his brother is the grabber.
Yeah.
And that the kids because the brother's trying
He
to
had
solve
it.
the mystery.
Yeah.
and he solves it by figuring out like, oh, they're in my basement.
Yes.
And he goes downstairs.
It's a great scene.
Sees the kid, and then the grabber comes up behind and hits him in the head with an axe.
And then, and the grabber's like, "You made me kill my brother," of course.
But he was talking
And
to
then he was like, "You been grabbed."
See?
I gotcha.
He's just testing out catchphrases the whole
like,
time.
he's like,
so like
Grabalicious.
oh my god, that should be the tagline for this one. Grabalicious.
grab it, abadoo.
They're like, no, we'll get sued for that one. But he's talking to. They realize basically they're sitting down for breakfast after the Gwen has slept with the boys, and everybody's like, "You're gonna get us fired," and I was like, "There's nobody here. Who's gonna tell?" Like, why are you freaking out about that? Also, you're putting this poor girl by herself.
But if that girl gets pregnant, if that girl decides
guess.
she changes her mind and tells her,
Yeah.
like, I mean, no, I took it as like, hey, this guy's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I did too, and I also thought that I thought at first they were doing it as a CYA, like, yeah, you guys gotta stay separately. If you guys sneak back into the cabin, whatever, but like, we have to tell you to sleep separately. But then when the woman was like, "Oh, you're the girl that snuck into the boys and could get us all fired,"
But it's also
like,
it's you put that poor girl by herself.
I know, it's
in
horrible.
And then she goes and sneaks into the cabin with her brother.
with her brother. Yeah, that's the thing too, where it's like when I was like,
but it wasn't her brother, she was-
Ernesto was more than happy to be like, "Oh, you had a bad dream. You want to get in my bed?"
but
That's
still
cool.
like the
she's
fact-
not gonna fall asleep that night. She's
But
got
also-
something poking in her back the whole time.
I gotta tell you, the entire time, given the tone of this movie, though, I thought she was gonna make a joke, like when she's in bed and then they're having this moment where she wakes up and she's like, "Did I wake you up?" And he was like, "No, I could."
I did not think the tone of this movie.
The character of Gwen, though,
Yeah.
where she does say like vulgar shit.
Yeah,
I
she's a
thought-
lot less vulgar in this movie. Than
She
the first
is.
one.
I thought for sure she was gonna make a joke about
Roll of
getting
lifesavers.
Yeah,
or-
getting poked in the back or something.
I thought the names, the way she cursed and stuff was really funny. Now that writing,
she did it in the first one.
Okay, but
Since-
I
yeah.
more so.
Yeah,
but I liked how she would always say this kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, that's
the most
funny.
off the cuff.
Yeah, it's
thing.
just so random and whatever.
Uh,
So anyway, they're getting tormented by the grabber every time she
But
goes
we should
to
say
sleep.
that like they go to breakfast. The guy that runs the camp is like, "What are you doing here? Like, none of you listed any churches." And finally, Gwen says, "Our mom went here." He's like, "Do you remember whatever
Her camp name.
Irene, whatever?" And she was like, "No." The guy's like, "There was somebody." She shows a picture, and he was like, "Oh yes, like Starfire or whatever."
Yeah,
I was like,
Starlight.
Can't you Starfire get sued for DC?
Yeah.
And he goes and grabs a picture, and he's like, "Yeah, this is her right here. Here's me." And then Finn's like, "Son of a," like, and this is the sequel trope all the
Jack
time.
Torrance.
It is kind of Jack Torrance,
Right?
Yeah,
He's there in
he's
the-
there. He's been there the whole time,
Yeah.
right? There's a younger version of,
He's like, that's Bill. It's Wild Bill.
and then we get the WBC.
Yeah,
It's like Wild Bill Hickok,
Yeah.
and they're putting it all together. So like basically, they figure out we got to find these kids that are somewhere here. And if we find the kids, he loses all of his power. And then,
But they do figure out the rules. How do they know? You're talking about how does this work? They're
They
like,
just-
oh, his power comes from the kids, and it's like, what?
Right. They just make
They
something
made that-
up.
yeah.
they
and
did,
then,
and that to
like,
me it was
How are
like
they right? How
that
do
is
they know that?
it's the most 80s horror. Like if you go back and watch like the Friday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, because that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
But like the Nightmare, because the Friday the 13th doesn't really have any lore,
Yeah.
so to speak. But Nightmare on Elm Street, like every movie is building on something else from a previous movie. So like there is lore to that.
I feel like the first
some,
and second one. I mean, that's kind of the lore with his mom and like, I mean, the
I
lore.
mean, I guess, but like when you get to the Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, you're like, oh, he's the son of 1,000 maniacs, or he's this dream demon. So like there's he's got a daughter. Spoilers for Friday Nightmare on Elm Street 6. So like there is you sent me down a weird path. But the last Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, is full of lore that never existed in any movie where they're like, no, the only way he could be killed is by a member of his own family. And you're like, wait a minute, what? That wasn't brought up in the last 7 movies.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? So they basically, the Gwen and Ernesto were like, look, there were kids that were murdered here. That's what we're trying to figure out. And they're like, no, you don't need to know about that. And Gwen's
that
like,
was funny when they go talk to the staff of the camp, and then and they're like, do you have any reading material on this camp? They're like, no, this is a Christian camp.
Goes,
We're not
here's a pamphlet. And she's like, no, I've got one of those.
Yeah. But they're like, but what if this is not a historic site? This is a camp, a kid's camp. Like, that was funny. Where it's like, no, we don't have like a history textbook.
Right.
That was good. So she goes, but every time she goes to sleep, she's being tormented by these kids.
The kids are giving her information, but the grabber
is there too.
Yeah, and he is trying to hurt her.
He's figure skating, working on his double axel.
I'm telling you, man, like that is Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. Like, because Freddy got wonky in those later movies where he was just doing some weird stuff.
Now the pre-show at the Alamo makes way more sense, showing weird Italian Freddy movies.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, oh man, this is getting weird.
I love seeing those because there was they could get away with it back then.
Yeah.
There was no copyright.
The parodies where you could just do
whatever you want. Yeah.
So, but essentially, she's chasing these kids, trying to figure out what happens. But she ends up seeing a vision of actually what happened to her mom, where we get a big reveal.
Yeah, which I thought was, again, sequel 101, where you get more information.
Tie it back in. Oh, it's connected to these kids.
Right, and we find out that
the mom was having dreams.
The mom figures it out. The mom figured out, which was a kind of a cool thing. Is I forgot this. I watched like a quick recap of the first movie. The mom has a vision of a kill we see in the first movie.
Okay.
So like that kid, the paperboy kid,
is the first victim
we see in the first movie.
Okay.
So the mom has a vision of this kid. She goes to the house. She sees the kid. And she realizes it's Wild Bill.
Yeah.
And
I thought this was a pretty good head fake / twist, because she wakes up like, oh, she's going to go, because we think the mom kills herself.
Right.
So she wakes up and you're like, oh my gosh, she can't handle these visions she's having.
Correct.
She's going to go do it. But what we find out is
she goes to
Bill.
and then I do like the line that the grabber has in this, I think is haunting, where he's like, I'm doing you a favor
before I do what I need
to do. And she was like, how is this helping me?
Yeah.
And he was like, you'll see.
Yeah.
And then the reveal
it was creepy opening the door to the van after he just kidnapped the mom in the flashback, and he's like, come in. That was super creepy. And then so she's sitting across from the modern grabber that's haunting her, and then the young grabber is driving
the van with her mom sitting in between
with her mom
them.
knocked out or what.
Right.
It's a very weird
thing.
Yeah.
So we find out that the grabber, their mom did not kill herself.
He killed her and made it look like it. And then we see the dad come find her in the garage hanging.
Right. And then
he's like,
he was like, oh, baby, you got grabbed.
Grab some more.
Grab me a bottle of liquor.
Yeah, right.
Do some kid beating.
They did a quick recap of that in the scene where the dad is like screaming at Gwen, and Gwen's like, if you hit me again, I'm going to smash this bottle of vodka. And he's like, well, I'm going to hit you harder. And she just drops it. And I was like, man, that's a badass kid. Like, that is also going to be real hard for both those kids to accept their father's apology. given how he has been acting and the abuse that he delivered upon
But
these
like,
children.
okay, he was terrible. He was so terrible in the first movie. But again, I really liked his character arc, and we find out like
he works very hard at being a better father.
he
I
does,
agree.
and you find out that he's not just doing it because he's a crappy person. Like, again, doesn't make it right or anything, but humans are flawed. People do bad things, whatever. And like, you find out he was terrible because he blamed himself for the death of his wife, and he was drinking to get over that, or trying to numb himself, and that was causing him to be a terrible person. Like,
And he didn't want Gwen to have the same. He thought the visions killed his wife, and now his daughter is exhibiting the same thing.
Right.
And he was,
So it's just interesting, and then I like that he had this character arc and redemption where he like is trying to be a good father. And now he's been sober for almost 3 years, and he's working on it. And you can tell he's a better person. I like it that they didn't just make him crappy dad, and the kids end up like killing him in the first one and move on.
Right.
Like, I like that he had a chance to turn his life around and be there for them.
Yeah, I
and he
think
saves them in the end of this.
I think
one.
we said at the end of the movie where that like his kids show back up and he's super like on his knees and begging, and I was like, that gives it about a week, and he's right back to where he was. And they
But
proved me
it's
wrong.
cool
They
that
proved me wrong.
and you know, and he ends up
It does
getting
not prove us wrong.
He made it 3 years.
He made it 3 years, and it's been 4 years since the movie.
That's
So, like-
But maybe he fell off the wagon and had a drink.
No,
you know.
but I'm saying that like, but
there's a year.
it wasn't like, and now I'll be great,
Yeah.
which I respect because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very simplistic.
Yeah.
It's not that simple, and it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy as just like, well, if you love your kids enough, like
Right.
it's
No,
difficult.
he
And
had
so,
a
like,
bad rough night. And
so
he
like
had a drink.
I
you know?
do like the fact that they're not like, oh, and then that day they waved a
Yes.
magic wand and we
Right.
all got a happy
He was immediately
ending.
not
Exactly.
not addicted
It's
anymore.
too
Yes.
easy. Yeah, that's too unrealistic. Exactly. I like that.
He was
I
no
liked it.
longer an alcoholic after day one.
Right.
So she sees this, and now she's like, "Oh crap!" And so he ends up now. He's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna kill you after you've seen this." And so he chases her into the kitchen of this camp.
Yeah.
And all the other, and meanwhile Ernesto's like screaming, waking everybody up.
She's whipping around the room. He's
And, well,
cutting her
and
arm.
they all go into this kitchen, and they see her being flung up and down and into pots and pans. And
Right.
like, that is a crazy thing to witness if you're a normal person who's never dealt with this.
And I do like
supernatural.
that Amy Irving's like, that kid's possessed.
Yeah, and then
like,
she- yeah.
she's like, no way. There's no
devil's
way
in
the
her.
devil's in her. And I do like, and then, so basically that all happens. They realize that Gwen is probably telling the truth. These kids are telling the truth.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've just witnessed. They've all
Right. It's
now
kind of hard
witnessed-
to, it's one thing to be like, she was having a nightmare.
Right, but this is crazy. There's pots and pans being thrown at people.
I do like this scene with Finn and the priest, or the camp counselor, where Finn's out there smoking weed, and the counselor, the guy that runs the camp, walks over, and they have this moment. And he basically says, you got to let that stuff go. Like, the only way you're going to be, you got to face it, you got to deal with it, and then you got to let it go.
I thought this was another interesting redemption thing. You notice when he asked the camp owner,
I was in jail.
where did you get those what do those tattoos mean? And then he says in Spanish to Ernesto, and he's like, jail, but that was a long time ago. And now he obviously helps kids
And
and runs
Ernesto's
this
like,
camp.
leave me out of this.
But I thought
Sorry ass.
but I thought that was interesting though that it's never addressed. But clearly, I think that's a nod to people getting a second chance
Absolutely.
and redemption.
Well, he
and-
says he's like, when all that went down with the kids, I bought this place for a dime or whatever, and I tried to reopen it and be helpful. But I do like that I think Finn offers him the joint, and the guy's like, no. And then he's like, he's like, actually, I'm going to take that. And he sniffs. He's like, God, this is terrible. This is terrible stuff.
Yeah.
And like walks away with it. I like, that's a good, I like that.
Yeah.
So the dad shows up, and we find out that like he had borrowed a plow basically. And he shows up, and
Mr. Plow.
Mr.
homage to
Plow.
Mr.
That's
Plow.
right. That's right. The homage to Mr. Plow.
Mr. Plow.
Who was the
that's
other
my
one?
name?
What was Barney's?
Plow King.
Plow King. And Gwen lays it out. She's like, we're not leaving. Like, this guy's going to keep coming. We can do this here. And she's like, I know Mom didn't kill herself. You said this to Mom.
Yeah, as soon as, because Finn's like, wait, I want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah, because the
And-
dad's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And finally she says, you said,
Yeah. How would I know that you blamed yourself? Because he
Right.
said, like, what did you do? And then he's like, what did I do? And then the dad's like, holy
crap.
This is a real thing.
right. So now they go to the river, or they go to this lake.
Well,
this
they're like, we got to
frozen
find
lake.
the bodies of these kids, and everyone's on board now to
Right.
help do this. So, which again, nighttime, they've had all this time to try to find these bodies. Yet at night, in a snowstorm with flashlights, they're gonna find bodies deep into the lake.
Well, I
Like,
think that was the catcher, is they found the one,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't find the others until Gwen fell asleep and went into the water. and
no, I
found-
just think like the fact that just like all these years at this camp, he said, the owner says, I've never stopped looking. I've tried to find them.
That's fair.
And now at night in a snowstorm, they're going to find the bodies.
The snowstorm was over.
But he's been looking for these kids for decades.
Yes.
It's just a movie thing where it's like, come on.
I do agree that he says,
there they are.
Yeah. Ta-da!
I mean, but
Like,
I get it. She's helping find them and
Right.
whatever. But the
And
fact
this-
that they were looking for them in this situation, I'm like,
Yeah. This is where we get the ice skating grabber. Which is, I mean, like when he starts ice, and they even say, I think the owner of the camp says, "Man, Wild Bill was a great ice skater."
Oh yeah,
Like,
they set
I
that
was
one
like,
up. Yep.
That is the most foreshadowing.
I know when he said that, I'm just like, oh my god.
I do like that the skates
were like melted into his.
Yeah,
rotten
like
feet.
it's not like he was wearing like hockey skates.
It was very creepy the way it was
Yeah.
like bloody and like fused to his feet.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And so there's this whole thing where they're trying to get the bodies out of the lake before the grabber kills everybody. I do like that Finn kind of figures out where the grabber is and starts to use his shine a little bit and is able to put hands on the grabber and I think the face is super creepy.
Okay, this is another thing that I thought was weird with stakes. So this is much like in Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, you die in your dream, you die in real life.
Correct.
So in this movie, if you get cut in the dream, you get cut in real life. Now, does that happen in Nightmare on Elm Street? In the different? Okay.
Yeah. So when Nancy figures out that they can bring him into the real world, is like she gets cut on her arm and wakes up, or maybe she burns herself and wakes up and she's got a burn on her arm.
So they're playing by those same rules.
So, but in that one, in Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy realizes if I grab him, grab him,
see,
and you wake me up, I can bring him into the real world, and then he doesn't have any power. Like he's still gross looking, but he's not Dream Master Freddy.
I don't think you can say that in 2025.
What?
That he's gross looking. I don't think you can.
His face
shame
says,
him like that, Joe.
I'm gonna shame the child molester. I think that's okay to do.
So anyway, but in this movie, Gwen gets so terribly injured and bloodied. She's thrown against walls. She's cut on her arm. It's like bleeding profusely. And then she gets cut on her face or neck or something, whatever. They're spinning her around. And there's blood going everywhere, but she wakes up and she's like, all right, let's go get him or whatever. It's like...
But there is like when she lands on the floor, there is blood everywhere.
Okay,
so
but the amount of blood, she may have the shine, but she's not RoboCop. I mean, like,
there was a lot of blood.
There's a lot of blood. She shouldn't be able to wake up and just be like, all right, let's go.
Wrap it up.
Bandage that up. I just thought it was weird. And again, that's another thing where it's like you want to have your kills and your blood and your fun, but yet you're not really being fun with it. And then what rules are there to how much blood this child can lose?
This child lost a lot of blood.
It didn't quite line up. And now again,
she should be like Stu and be like, I feel a little woozy here.
Yeah, see, there's your homage to Scream. But that's the thing. If you're in a movie where it's a little more fun,
I think that line was ad-libbed.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, that's cool. I'm still curious how they're this whole thing with Kevin Williamson being back and directing too, right?
Yeah. And
then Stu somehow being back. Is it just gonna be a flash? Like it will be interesting to see.
In Scream, which is Scream 4? Nope, Scream 5. The Kyle, whatever his name is. Remember the super, inappropriately old guy that kept showing back up. He was like a teenage. He was like a 25, 26-year-old macking on that girl, and he gets stabbed in the neck in the parking lot. That's Stu's nephew.
Oh.
In the movie, that is Stu Macher's nephew in the movie.
Well, now wait a minute. In the movie, I mean, spoilers for Scream for 5 Cream, but they live. The twins or the brother and sister are related, right? Those are Stu's.
No, those are Randy's niece and nephew.
Randy's, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Stu, we don't know is dead or alive. We don't officially know. But that Kyle Gallagher, I think is the actor's name, is Stu's nephew.
Okay,
so maybe it's Stu's sister. I don't know. That's
anyway,
totally I'm throwing shit against the wall.
Yeah.
But so they're on this ice and the grabber is winning.
Yeah.
He does the same thing to Finn that Finn does to him in the first movie where he kind of like ties the
triple
belt
axle into a double Lutz.
Yeah, ties the belt around his neck and then kind of like grabs him.
Yeah, he's like, my how the
tables have turned.
Am I how the turntables?
And I think it's the grabber's face doesn't get mangled in the first movie, I don't think.
Yeah, it's
But
weird
in
that
this
he's so
one,
bloody
it
and
is
weird looking.
not
he
Ethan
beats
Hawke.
the shit out of him with the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
But
see
he
his
really
face.
looks. But you know what? He
after
also
that.
says, like, didn't he say, like, I've been in hell and I'm
I
tormented
do
or
like
something?
like that where he's like, you think that they take the human out of you, but they don't take it all out.
Yeah.
And his mask
He's like, they
comes
only
off.
leave behind the worst parts,
Yeah.
and I've got a lot of sin or whatever.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's a good
Yeah.
line. I like it. But his mask comes off and it is just like gross.
The mask, it is cool. It came off in the first one, right? Where you could take the top part off and leave.
Yeah, it would change.
It would change.
Yeah.
I do think, I mean, the
did
mask.
we ever see? Oh, we did see him for a brief second when Finn does take his mask off and he freaks out.
And he freaks
Yeah.
out. And he
Yeah.
like hides his face.
Right,
The
right.
mask is cool. It's a creepy mask.
It's a very
the
good mask.
character in the creepy mask. So I did like in this one where he's talking to her and he like takes the top off to see his eyes, but the bottom part is there and whatever. It was
And
a
he can
cool,
reverse it.
And yeah,
They find the kids, and then the kids pop out of the water.
he comes by and he like stabs the one guy with an axe and drags him around
That
the
was
lake
wild.
in
That
circles.
was, again,
And then he
this
comes back with
is-
his skate and like cuts Barbara's
head.
like
Yeah.
just across her forehead or whatever.
He
He cut her hair. He's like
Like old school wrestling.
like old school wrestling.
Yeah,
That's right.
he
Just
just
a
kept
little
the razor.
Right.
No, he
across.
was like, "This is copyright infringement. You can't have that hair in this movie.
Right.
Cut it off."
And then so then Finn ends up winning. Finn grabs. He finds the grabber.
This
he
was
pummels,
cool.
He
I
pummels his
mean,
face into the ice.
Yeah.
And the kids.
What does he say? What's the kill line? He says something about like, "Death is cold." There's death is a dish served cold.
He's like, death is
Whatever.
not. Oh man, they do.
Hell
it
isn't
is
hot. It's cold.
It's
or-
cold.
or
It's
whatever.
like ice.
And he just smashing his head
face.
into the. and then he like slides him into the.
Well, the
ice.
kids end up. He goes to like attack that, but the kids are there.
I
and
do
they're-
like the idea of the people that he killed. Now the ghosts of them are like dragging him under.
But
the
that's,
water.
I mean, that's kind of what happens in the first one. Is the ghosts of those
Yeah.
kids lead Finn? They give Finn all of the pieces to get out of this situation.
Oh, it's weapons.
What is?
Remember the end of Weapons? All the kids
yeah.
that then get the revenge.
Get
I
the
guess it's kind
revenge.
of the same
Yeah.
concept as that. Yeah.
So we've killed a ghost.
Have we?
I mean, can you? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
I know it's a weird.
It's definitely.
But no, they found the bodies of the kids, which in their world means their spirits are free, and he now has no power. He's not human, but like the ghost has. He's a normal person. That's why he's sitting there in the ice with no power. He's
frozen.
weak, and then he gets
Freezing.
frozen.
Yeah,
So,
he's fright-
but
they
they leave it so that clearly the grabber can come back.
Yeah.
in the third
Look, man.
one, and,
Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Freddy's corpse gets pissed on
Yeah.
by a demon dog, and he comes back.
yeah, I mean,
like it's.
but they leave him intact enough where yes, he's drained his power, and yes, the kids are found. He's frozen, but he's there under that lake, and something's gonna happen.
what I think I would
Someone's
like to
gonna
see.
put on his magic tool belt.
It's
put
the
it
mask.
on.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I like the idea of this now being a Finn and Gwen and getting visions of other stuff. Like if you want to do like a small, I don't know how you're going to do a Black Phone 3. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to find.
I didn't know how they do a Black Phone too.
They did. What was it? What did it make this weekend?
$26 million.
I maybe overseas. I've got 42 on a 30. Wikipedia's updated.
It's a Blumhouse. It's a Blumhouse
Man,
special.
they're getting up there though. But Blumhouse movies used to be 1 million, 5 million. It's
Yeah.
a 30 million.
We used to. It was like a foot rubbing a bomb pop.
International 15. So
I mean,
open to 42 on a 30. So I mean, it's probably almost in profit.
Yeah.
So it's horror movies. We talked
It
about
is weird.
horror movies.
I do think it's weird that they keep putting Michael Myers in the Blumhouse logo. Like yes, those 3 movies are Blumhouse movies,
Yeah.
but that's all they get.
They must have got. We talked about that when it came out. It's like we needed those movies. He must have been like part of the deal that I can use this in the Blumhouse logo.
Yeah, I just find that very interesting.
It is part of their history.
Those 3,
now.
I guess, those
Yeah.
3 are. Yeah. Look, I'm in the minority here, which is fine. I think.
Hey, join the club, man. Last week was rough, so join the club.
Yeah, I thought I had a lot. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought it was very homage heavy. Obviously, I can read into it as like, oh yeah, these kids have the shine and they're in Colorado, and that's where
I think that's interesting. I like the theorizing there. I mean, obviously, with it being a Joe Hill property, that connection's very interesting.
Yeah, they're building the Avengers.
I hadn't looked up Rotten Tomatoes until now. This is the first time. 74%
reviews.
critics, 85%.
Yeah.
So we're in the minority, I guess. Overall.
Yeah,
it was a
suck it,
snooze.
Trebek.
I think those critics fell for the how good the movie looked.
Oh man,
I
technically
will
it was
say
really,
I do love the transitions. I love
when it goes
Gwen's.
to the 50s.
Well, no, not even that. When
Oh.
Gwen is having visions,
Yeah.
it is filmed like an 80s VHS.
Yeah.
When it cuts back to the real world, it goes into 2025.
No, but it's so when they're in the real world, it looks like the 80s. It doesn't ever look like 2025. But when she has her visions, it's back to the 50s when the murders took place. Like
No.
it's so gritty.
No.
What?
She does see those visions, but then, when she goes back and sees what happens to her mom, that's 78.
But this is in Halloween. What?
But when
I
but
thought-
her mom
was it
her
not
mom,
the 50s? When was her mom at the camp?
her mom as a little girl is the 50s, but her mom
Okay.
as an adult is 1978 or 77.
And
I
she's
guess.
working at the camp.
Well, it
No,
would
when she wakes up and sees the
would've-
grabber.
no, it would have been like 74 because she was
okay.
dead for 3 years.
You're right.
When the first movie happened,
You're right.
And she was like 17 and 57 because she was
Okay.
working at the camp.
Working at the camp.
but
she was a
it's like
CI.
multiple layers.
Anytime Gwen was having a dream
Mhm.
or a vision,
Yeah.
it had that 80s VHS fuzzy filter
Yeah.
on it. Like even the film breaks.
I
at one
took it as
point.
real film. I took it as like 70s
It could have
film
been
stock.
because there's a point when Gwen realizes how much power she actually has in the dream that the film breaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Quote unquote. Like
Yeah, it was really cool. I agree. The transition thing when it went from the dream world has that.
But there is that.
graininess
I think
to it.
that there's the scene where Finn is like on top of her, be like shaking her awake, and he's like, "Are you awake? Are you awake?" And we see it from Gwen's point of view. And initially, Finn is kind of in that fuzzy
Yeah.
VHS,
Yeah.
but then it clears up.
You keep saying VHS, but to me it looked like film. Like
I
VHS
think it was
has a
more
different.
like Super 8.
Yeah,
Super
like
8. Yeah,
like
that's
it
fair.
looks like film stock
I-
to me. Not VHS has a different like those fuzzies and
Yeah,
the
I guess
lines and
the
stuff.
breaking of the film would be more like
yeah,
Super
it's film
8.
stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
But-
was so
but-
cool the way they did it.
Yeah, the filter on the movie, it's when you're watching it is like that Super 8 film stock.
Yeah.
And then as she wakes up, that film stock,
Yeah.
the filter goes away, and Finn is it looks like a 2025 film. Like,
If you
because it's
say-
clear, right?
Yeah,
'Cause-
it is clear, but I still contest though. I think they made the whole movie look like it was filmed kind of in the 80s. Like it still had a like a
I definitely
grittiness to
got
it.
some Stranger Things
Like when they're at
vibes as
school,
well.
like even from the beginning, I remember because they were at school and it's still in the bright light and everything.
they
had a
did the
gritty
thing
look
that
to
you
it.
always complain about. Those cars looked
Yeah.
like
Brand new cars.
Oh, I didn't think they looked like
Oh.
that car that Ernesto is driving does not look like a car from
Oh.
1982.
Yeah.
He would not be driving a brand new. He
Right.
looked like he was driving like a 74.
Right. In 82, he'd be driving like a 69.
Yeah,
Right.
which I
something
did
or
think was
other.
in, like I can't
Yeah.
not see that now.
Well, and I'm surprised with the homages they didn't drive the car from Evil Dead.
Oh, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
It's-
I can't believe we didn't throw another.
or a yellow bug.
Because when Ernesto's car first pulled up, I thought for a split second, is that
I
the
think if
car
you're gonna
from
do
Evil
if you're
Dead?
gonna do the homage to The Shining, it needs to be the
Yeah.
not the yellow one,
That's
but the
true.
green one. Is it green in the book?
I don't remember.
I think it's
been a
green.
minute.
Yeah.
Because you see a green
Yeah.
bug on the side of the road, like when that's the. So yeah, I think I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I do think is it Mason Thames?
Yeah. Hiccup himself.
yeah,
from How to
yeah,
Train Your
yeah.
Dragon, which I thought he was good in that.
He was good in that. I think if they're gonna recast Spider-Man,
Oh, really?
I think that kid could make a very very convincing young Spider-Man because Tom Holland doesn't have much time left.
No, Tom Holland's got another 20 years of looking like a teenager.
That's fair. That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's why they cast him.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It's weird that there's no other horror movies coming out this.
Fun. I can't.
I had a good time with it. I
Why
think
is it weird?
fun.
It's October 19th.
I know that there's nothing else coming. I don't think there's no more horror movies. I mean, Halloween's on a Friday.
There's a
this year.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Isn't that
I think that's November 7th.
November? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they know next weekend people will be doing Halloween stuff.
That's true.
And
That's a
then-
good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it makes total sense.
Yeah. I'm going to see.
It's either you release them early enough to have that
Legs
October
and-
run,
Yeah.
or you release them even earlier so they can hit VOD in time for Halloween.
which is like that one that we did.
which is like Conjuring 4
Yeah.
did that, and there's another
I
one.
like the Christmas horror movies. I like that they're like
There's
found
one
that-
coming for you.
Yeah, but they always do. That's what I mean. I like there's always that counter programming now.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, starring Corey from Halloween Ends.
Wait a minute, they're doing a Silent Night, Deadly Night remake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Starring Corey from
Yeah.
Halloween Ends.
Forever will be Corey. What's that actor's name? You've seen
Corey.
those movies? Yeah,
That's what.
funny. I always
am-
think of I'm like Corey Feldman's in
No,
this?
I am seeing Halloween 78 on Wednesday.
Now that's
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable. That is a masterpiece. I will tell you,
Absolutely
that
it
is
is.
one of the
It's
greatest.
perfect. It's a perfect movie.
So good.
So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. Let's go around the table and everyone can say where to find them.
This is Joe. You can follow me on the Twitter at JoeyButts, BUTTS21. Also on Blue Sky, Threads, and Letterboxd, all at the same.
This is Kevin. Follow me on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett.
And this is Tom. Follow me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, Samantha killed Stryker and Brooke.
Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, 'cause